growing up, when I was like 3-4 years old, there was just fish everywhere. And I guess the agreement that they had is that like there's no if you're a commercial fisherman, you can't go in like certain parts of the water.
Yeah.
But the Native American people can.
Right.
And when they signed the deal, the treaty, whatever you want to call it, it was when they were carving hooks out of bone and they were knitting nets out of cotton that they had picked from the field and like hand braiding stuff. So now the Native Americans have
Fishing.
commercial fishing technology and they're just reaping all the fish. So as a kid, I was like, I'm not catching any fish. Like, fuck that boat out there that just nets. But now, like, now I get it. It's like...
Yeah. Well, it's like the casinos out here.
Yeah. And I'm 100% on the side of the Native Americans.
Me too.
But when you're a 4-year-old...
No data, yeah.
And you're catching fish every cast, and
They
then you
don't
go
tell
back and
you
you're
about
10
that in
years old...
schools.
Yeah.
They're just all, well, yeah, that's just red band doing bad, red band. Yeah,
Wait,
what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely you learn about it in college, like taking
Yeah.
Native American studies in college. You're like, oh my god.
Oh, smallpox blankets.
Yeah,
Great.
but you didn't know about that when
Yeah.
you were a
The
kid.
sterilization thing, that's new to me. I honestly, I'm fucking a goof. I'm uneducated on that. I'm not well
When I
versed.
first heard that, I'm all, bullshit. Like, for like a half an hour, I'm all, bullshit. No, I mean, I couldn't imagine any government, let alone ours or anything.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
doing
people,
that. It's just,
you do have to factor in though too, as somebody living in the now and looking at the past, especially as like if you're a person, if you're gonna break the rules, you know, like no one's forcing anyone to do drugs or be gangsters or anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're gonna break the rules, you're gonna pay the consequences. So that you're within that paradigm, yeah, you're gonna be fucked every time, right? Like, is it easy to get ahead in this world with all the corporations? No, it's definitely not. But you know, no one's asking anyone to be a thug or be a drug addict. And that being said, like the past, people were just brutal back in the past. People were brutal. Even when they would put the kids in the schools, they put them in dude, my college education right now. They would take them to they'd be like Catholic schools, like Reformation schools.
yeah, convert them.
Right.
Yeah.
But they would do that in the, like, recently. They would,
still do it. Like, we're
Yeah.
not going to teach you your culture.
You're teaching the white person culture, and
Yeah.
I was really mad at my parents for doing, because they're super Christian and they adopted me. And I remember one time I was standing with my dad when I was a kid, and he's like, there was a Native American sculpture, and my dad's like, why didn't you ever do stuff like that? I was like, 'cause no one ever taught me. Like,
Yeah.
I remember, and I was super mad at, but then I was like, oh, he doesn't know any better. Like, he only knows what he knows. He knows, like, I'm, like, from German descent, I'm a Canadian, like, I love the Lord, like, he just knows what he knows.
Yeah.
And those people knew what they knew. I got brought out of it for whatever, because my mom was a drug addict or whatever, so I got adopted. And so it's like, you can't, so I could easily be like, I hate the white man, and like, I got robbed. Like, nah, man, I got raised right, I got clothed, and I have nothing to do with being a Native American, really. Like, I'm so removed from it. But even...
It is a part of you.
Right, it's a part of you, but I think I'm just saying I have nothing to do with it, so I'm not saying to other Native American kids who've lived on a reservation, I'm not giving them any advice, but I am saying, like, in the present, there seems to be a lot of turmoil and anger at different factors, at different people, and there's a lot of divisiveness, and at a certain point it's just that you cannot hold people accountable for stuff that happened even 30 years ago. You know what I mean?
No, but...
You can hold the government accountable, but
Yeah.
you can't be mad at, like a Native American kid can't be mad at a white kid.
No, that's just illogical. But at
Right.
the same time, the fact that none of the truths are being this is really horrible, shitty information, history.
Yeah.
Like legit, honest history, but we're not gonna, just because it makes us look
All
bad.
the
Right.
pivotal
Oh.
pain points are being suppressed. So, like, that sterilization thing, I feel like I wouldn't say I'm well read, but I have a fascination and a curiosity. If I feel like something's fucked up, I go and dig, and I've never come across that.
You've
Like,
never heard of that, yeah.
I know
Yeah.
some of, like the whole fishing thing, the casino thing out here I'm pretty familiar with. And, like,
It's creepy, huh? Like how that gets suppressed.
Yeah.
And the closer it gets to the modern, the more it's conspiracy theory.
Yeah, no, it just will
It's really
stick it on that,
creepy,
and
yeah.
it's just weird now.
Yeah.
And you're all, no, it's just unknown history.
Even with the immigration stuff, like, I could be guilty because I know I play devil's advocate a lot because all my friends, everyone hates Trump. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I think it's just in my personality to be like, well, what about this? But dude, I watched that Children of Men movie. Dude, that was only made in 2006, and it's about the future.
Oh,
and
when
it
people
seems
can't
like
have
it's a
babies?
movie about right now. Yeah. And you're like, freaks you out, like the way they treat the immigrants, and you're like, oh shit, that's now.
Yeah.
Like that, it's supposed to be in 2027, but it's like, that seems pretty 2018 to me.
that's 9 years from now.
Yeah,
Way.
yeah.
Woo.
I don't, man, humans, let's have the first rule, let's treat humans like humans. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, we gotta treat humans like humans, man. It's, man, it's pretty dark.
Well, I think that the next generation of that is the thing that I'm more and more fascinated with is kind of the Aztec, Mayan, like Montezuma culture, and as that is branching into and commingling with our society, they're trying to suppress that with
Right.
the throwing kids in fucking cages and shit.
Right, yeah.
Like I don't care what your beliefs are. You can say abortion's wrong. Like I fucking get it. I understand your side of the argument. Me, I'm pro-choice. I think if a girl gets raped in a back alley by some drug addict, she should have the right to.
I think if the girl gets pregnant and just doesn't want to have it, she should have the right to. She doesn't have to be raped. It's her body, her choice.
Yeah. But I feel like that's almost like we have a little box of a country, and then the more that outer cultures start to take root, we're like, nope.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We get more defensive. Like,
Yeah.
no, I don't care how ridiculous it is. It's
Yeah,
not gonna
we have a
change.
good thing. We fucking sold plenty of smallpox blankets to get here. We're not gonna let that. We're gonna harness our return on investment.
But at the same time that we're having that happen, we have like people in college. It's so confusing right now. It just you do feel like you're attacked when you're like you kind of want to. You do feel like things are being marginalized and attacked, as far as like basic ideals and stuff. At the same time, but it's ironic because those are those same basic ideals that should allow you to let the immigration process have it work properly and let people and treat people as humans and stuff. It's that same principle that should be defending it. So it gets confusing, man. Like I get confused a lot of times. Like, dude, especially going to college, man, because like I was super blue pill. Like I was out of the military. I was done with all of it. I was done with war. I was super on board to sign on. Like, I'm progressive. I'm super, you know what I mean?
But it gets so
And
ridiculous.
it got so Orwellian so fast, dude. Like, those professors are so weird, dude.
Yeah.
And so you're like, you realize you really, there's no real good side. It's really just this confusing, you kind of like, for me, it's just middle of the road, sort of trying to pick up the pieces. But there's always just going to be craziness, I think. Because, I mean, like, look, man, we fucked up the Middle East. And then the refugees coming in from Europe are pretty brutal dudes. For an understandable reason. Well, I don't know if it's an understandable reason to kill anybody or hurt anybody, but you're bringing refugees in who are militarized dudes. Like, they hate you. They're throwing acid on people. They're raping people. Like Germany has you can't go out at night anymore because of the refugees. So yeah. So I mean,
That's like a form of martial law. I mean,
Right.
it's gonna differ from boundary to boundary, country to country. But at the end of the day, if you want to generalize a state of mind, that's
I don't want to.
in
I definitely
essence-
don't want to. I don't want to.
Yeah,
That's
but,
what I'm
but
saying.
From purely an analytical standpoint,
Right.
that's martial law. If you enforce a curfew
Yeah.
within a boundary, from our perspective, from an analytical perspective in the United States, that is martial law.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's weird, man, because it's like you definitely America. You want to be the guy. We're the refugee people, right? We're supposed to be the refugee.
Yeah,
people.
we
We're
started
supposed to
off
have
as
immigrants.
Yeah.
But then there has to be a better process of it. So it's just it's incompetence on all levels because the way we're letting look, man. Let's have a hard line against criminals, like on the outset. Let's any guy, and that's the number one defense. Because look, man, I work with like the Mexican community is just as American to me as Americans. You know what I mean? Like that's
100%.
such an essential part of what America is, and
I
especially
feel like they're just as hard of workers, and you guys know I was born in Detroit. A good majority of my family worked for the automotive industry on like assembly lines. You know, like I feel like that's like you show up, you fucking crank your ass off for 8 hours, and you're somewhat taken care of. You know, if you fucking lose a finger, like you're not just gonna be like, oh well, you should have been more careful. You had a new job. Don't go after playing piano because we probably suck at that now.
It's a meritocracy. America should always be a meritocracy. We just got to figure out the system is like the way you're letting them in and the way we're figuring it out is kind of broken right now.
Yeah, but I feel like the reason I decided that I wanted to learn Spanish is because I saw a lot of friends that were of Hispanic descent in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. When Spanish really clicked for me, it was 8th grade. And I feel like I can speak pretty close to fluent Spanish now. And the only reason for that is that I saw more people